Hello, and welcome to Within and Beyond, where spirituality meets depth, insight, and real conversation. I'm Lorraine Appleyard, an evidential medium and spiritual teacher, and together I hope to be able to take you on the journey within and beyond.
The Watchers. Why is everybody suddenly talking about them? Have you noticed that lately the word Watchers seems to be everywhere? I've noticed. You'll hear it in spiritual circles, on YouTube, in documentaries, and of course on social media. And some people describe the Watchers as fallen angels, and others believe that they were extraterrestrial beings. Some say that they're still influencing humanity today. And if you spend enough time exploring these ideas, you will inevitably come across another claim, that their story was removed from the Bible to keep humanity from knowing the truth. So, who were the Watchers? Where did this idea come from? Why has this ancient story suddenly captured so much attention? Or rather, why should it capture our attention? Is there something important that we're meant to understand? Welcome to Within and Beyond. I'm your host, Lorraine Appleyard. And what some traditions understand as a heavenly council, across many faith traditions, we find the understanding that humanity exists within a much larger spiritual reality. The Book of Enoch, it introduces the Watchers, and it fits into a much larger picture. Whether the Watchers are literally heavenly beings who crossed a boundary, or symbolic figures representing humanity's relationship with power, knowledge, and pride? Is it a story that preserves profound spiritual truths? We can look at it at all these levels. I believe there's something significant here that deserves our attention. Ancient stories rarely survive for thousands of years without carrying something meaningful. For me, the question isn't simply, did the Watchers exist? Rather, it's what did the ancient writers try to preserve? Why did this matter so deeply to them? And what might it have to teach us today? So perhaps the greatest value of the story isn't that it satisfies our curiosity about the past. Perhaps it's meant to ask us to examine the present. How do we use knowledge? How do we exercise power? And are we deserving the wisdom needed to carry both responsibly? Why isn't the Book of Enoch in most Bibles? One question that always seems to arise is that if the story is so important, why isn't the Book of Enoch included in most Bibles? And today you'll hear people say that it was deliberately removed to hide the truth. The historical picture actually is more nuanced than that. The Book of Enoch was highly respected by many ancient communities before the time of Jesus. Fragments of it were discovered among the Dead Sea Scrolls. The New Testament, the letter of Jude, even quotes directly from it. However, when different Jewish and Christian communities recognize which books would form their biblical canon, Enoch was not included by most traditions, although it remains part of the biblical canon of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. So, whether someone accepts Enoch as scripture or simply as an influential ancient religious text, its impact on early Jewish thought is undeniable, and this is the thread of the esoteric tradition that goes through all of humanity. And so perhaps what we're seeing in a renewed interest in it today, people are asking deeper questions. They're looking beyond simple answers, searching for a deeper understanding of humanity's spiritual story. So whether the Watchers are literally heavenly beings, or if it's powerful symbolism, or is it something that we have yet to fully understand? The story really continues to invite us into contemplation, because perhaps the greatest mystery isn't simply who the Watchers were. Perhaps the greatest mystery is why the story has continued to find a new generation. Maybe it's reminding us that knowledge alone is never enough. Real wisdom isn't measured by how much we know. It's measured by what we become. Thank you for joining me on Within and Beyond. And if you are fascinated by ancient mysteries and spiritual history and exploring the deeper meaning behind these timeless traditions, I'd love to have you join me on this journey. Until next time, stay discerning and keep looking. This is Lorraine Appleyard on Within and Beyond. I wish you all the very many blessings, and may you walk with Spirit. Bye for now.